Your resume is not rejected because every hiring manager carefully hated it. Most resumes lose because the reader never feels a reason to keep going. When someone opens your resume, they are making tiny decisions every few seconds. Should I keep reading, skim faster, or move on? The best resumes do not force attention. They earn it by reducing confusion quickly. This video is about resume psychology without manipulation. We are not trying to hack a human being. We are trying to understand what a busy evaluator needs. A hiring manager wants to know whether you can solve their problem with less risk than the other options. There are 3 psychological triggers that make a hiring manager read more. First, immediate relevance. Second, believable proof of impact. Third, easy pattern recognition. When these work together, the resume feels safe to keep reading. Every resume is judged against one hidden question. Does this person look like a credible match for this role? Not a generally impressive person, not a person with a long career. A match for this specific job, team, and business problem. Hiring is full of uncertainty. A resume is only a short document about work that happened somewhere else. The reader cannot see how you actually perform, so they scan for signals that lower uncertainty. Clear signals slow them down, vague signals speed them up. The first trigger is relevance in the first scan. This means the top of your resume quickly answers why you belong in the pile. The reader should not have to dig through old jobs to understand your target, level, and strongest fit. In the first scan, hiring managers usually look for familiar anchors. They notice job titles, industries, tools, responsibilities, and recent experience. If those anchors match the role, the brain gets a small feeling of recognition. That feeling says, this may be worth more time. Relevance does not mean copying a job description word for word. It means showing that your experience is organized around the employer's problem. A customer support manager role needs different signals than an operations manager role, even if both involve communication and problem solving. A weak opening says something like, motivated professional seeking a challenging opportunity to grow. That may be sincere, but it gives the reader almost no evidence. It talks about your desire, not their need. The hiring manager still has to search for the connection. A stronger opening is specific. For example, customer success specialist with experience onboarding small business clients, resolving billing issues, and improving renewal conversations. This does not sound flashy. It simply tells the reader where to place you in their mental filing system. If you like practical breakdowns like this, consider subscribing. The goal of this channel is to make job search strategy feel less mysterious and more usable, one clear concept at a time. Now, let's go deeper into why proof matters so much. Relevance has 3 layers. The role layer says, I do this kind of work. The level layer says, I operate at the right seniority. The context layer says, I have worked in environments similar enough to understand your constraints. A hiring manager is not only asking whether you have the skill, they are asking whether you have used it at the right scale. Managing 3 interns is not the same as managing a department. Supporting 10 customers is not the same as supporting an enterprise account portfolio. Context helps the reader imagine transfer. If the job is in a regulated industry, relevant compliance experience lowers uncertainty. If the job is at a startup, experience with ambiguity may matter. If the job is customer-facing, examples with real clients become more persuasive. There is a danger here. Some people tailor so aggressively that the resume stops sounding true. Relevance should highlight real experience, not disguise missing experience. A trustworthy resume makes the strongest, honest match between what you have done and what the role requires. The second trigger is proof of impact. Once the reader thinks you might be relevant, the next question is simple. Did this person actually make things better? Job duties tell what you were responsible for. Impact tells what changed because you were there. A duty sounds like responsible for weekly reporting. That tells the reader the task existed. A proof statement sounds like rebuilt weekly reporting so managers could identify delayed orders earlier. The second version gives the reader a reason to believe your work had value. Impact does not always mean giant revenue numbers. Many jobs create value through speed, accuracy, safety, quality, consistency, customer satisfaction, documentation, training, or reduced confusion. If your work made a process smoother or a decision easier, that can be meaningful proof. Concrete evidence gives the brain something to hold. Numbers are useful when they are honest and relevant, but proof can also come from scope, frequency, audience, stakes, tools, or outcomes. The goal is not to decorate the resume. The goal is to make the claim easier to believe. A simple way to write proof is to combine action, context, and result. What did you do? Where did you do it? And what improved? For example, trained new support agents on refund workflows, reducing repeated escalations during peak season. If you do not have exact metrics, do not invent them. Use truthful scale instead. Say you supported a multi-location team, handled daily vendor requests, prepared monthly executive updates, or maintained documentation used by the sales team. Specific truth beats fake precision every time. Proof matters because hiring feels risky. A manager is not just buying skills. They are choosing someone who may affect deadlines, customers, team morale, and their own reputation. Evidence of past impact helps them imagine future performance with less anxiety. The best proof is connected to the job. If you are applying for a data analyst role, proof about dashboards, decisions, data quality, and stakeholder questions carries more weight. A random award from an unrelated area may be impressive, but it may not reduce the right uncertainty. The third trigger is easy pattern recognition. Hiring managers do not read resumes like novels. They look for patterns that help them predict fit. A clear resume lets them see your career story quickly, without solving a puzzle. Human brains are pattern-seeking. When information is organized, we understand faster and trust it more easily. When a resume jumps between formats, hides dates, uses vague titles, or buries key skills, the reader has to work harder. Extra effort creates doubt. Clarity is not boring. Clarity is respectful. A hiring manager may be reviewing resumes between meetings, messages, and deadlines. If your layout makes the important facts easy to find, you are helping the reader do their job. That good experience keeps them with you longer. Your resume should tell a simple story. Here is the work I do. Here is where I have done it. Here is the value I created. Here are the tools, credentials, or experiences that support the claim. The story should be visible even during a quick scan. Pattern breaks happen when the reader expects one thing and finds another without explanation. A sudden career shift, a long gap, a confusing title, or overlapping dates can all create friction. You do not need to over-explain, but you should reduce avoidable confusion. If you are changing careers, make the bridge visible. A teacher moving into corporate training can highlight curriculum design, facilitation, learning outcomes, and stakeholder communication. The point is to help the reader see continuity, not force them to discover it alone. Pattern recognition is not the same as keyword stuffing. Repeating tools and buzzwords without context can feel empty. The stronger approach is to place important keywords inside meaningful evidence. Show the skill, the situation, and the result together. Scannability comes from simple choices. Use clear section headings. Keep bullet points focused. Put the most relevant information where the eye naturally lands. Avoid dense paragraphs that make every detail look equally important. A resume should guide attention, not demand patience. Before sending a resume, use the uncertainty test. Ask what a busy hiring manager might still wonder after 10 seconds. What role is this person targeting? What level are they? What have they improved? Why does this background fit our problem? Then revise for those answers. Imagine two candidates for an operations coordinator role. One says, handled administrative tasks and supported team projects. The other says, coordinated vendor schedules, updated inventory records, and prepared weekly status reports for warehouse supervisors. The second resume gives the reader a clearer pattern and more usable proof. Do not try to sound impressive by becoming abstract. Phrases like strategic leader, dynamic professional, and results-driven performer are weak when they stand alone. They may sound polished, but they do not answer the reader's real question. What did you do, and why should I believe it matters? The three triggers are strongest together. Relevance gets the first scan. Proof earns belief. Pattern recognition makes the whole document easy to process. When a resume does all three, the hiring manager is not being tricked. They are simply getting enough clarity to keep reading. A great resume does not guarantee an interview because hiring depends on timing, competition, budget, and many factors you cannot control. But it can do one important thing. It can make your fit easier to see, faster to trust, and harder to ignore. Now, I want to hear from you. What part of your resume feels hardest to write? The summary, the bullet points, the career change story, or the proof of impact? Leave a comment with your question, or suggest the next career topic you want explained.